What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So today we ended up getting the brand new cinematic storyline for the Black Ops 6 Season 4 update. And it looks like not only that, but Call of Duty actually ended up posting a blog post, which is a little different than what they normally do. And it looks like this blog post is just basically an intel drop for the season, which I think this is the first time they've ever done anything like this. Usually with the brand new season, they'll drop a brand new roadmap and then we jump into it. But usually that's saved for Thursday, today being only Tuesday. I guess they wanted to give us this intel, the background story, because this actually continues the Black Ops 6 storyline. So first off, from the clips that you were looking at here, that was actually the intro cinematic. I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you guys with full audio so you can get the full experience, and then we're gonna break that down and then talk about the blog post itself.
How copy?
In position. This asshole better be worth all the effort.
He's not. Hudson's intel is our key to the Pantheon puzzle.
If we can't crack those code names, we're never going home.
Pulling the plug in 3.
I'm in.
Right on cue. Marshall, you're up.
Kuzmi.
Adler. You took your time.
Now, right there from the cinematic, you can tell that there is a new map location, and they even give you the details in the bottom left. So they're telling you here it's going to be at a power plant in Iceland. The actual sign in itself says Camp Z, as you can see in the background behind Adler. And this obviously is the location that Stitch is imprisoned in, so I'm thinking it's going to be a playable map. Obviously, that prison area we talked about, we got to see like the interior of it, and then we also got to see the map layout with the last outro cinematic for Season 3. Now they're showing us what the actual map itself looks like. Snow everywhere. There's going to be a pretty big building here that's pretty much like the prison facility. And then in terms of the storyline as they continue on, obviously they have to break him out, so they detonate the area, blow up the wall, and then they get him out of that situation. And then they also showcase Stitch, which I believe is probably going to be like the tier 1 battle pass operator. And then speaking of the operators, once again teasing that Adler operator that we are yet to see in the game, and then also Stitch, which seems to be tier 1 from my understanding, just based on the way that he looks here. And then the official marketing itself, it looks like after he's all geared up, so now in like the black attire, that's a different style for him. So those are like the two different skin variations that we're gonna get of Stitch. Now, alongside this, as I mentioned, they did post a blog, and it says narrative intel, old enemies, new alliances, Stitch returns to Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Call of Duty Warzone. They said following a daring jailbreak conducted by his former adversary, Stitch's clandestine resurrection is achieved, and he returns to the fray with orders to crack the codes needed to uncover the Pantheon moles. Get the backstory of this intense rivalry turned uneasy alliance with Russell Adler and deploy as a menacing ex-Perseus agent arriving in the Season 4 Battle Pass. So they have just confirmed that Adler finally gets an operator, right? But it says right here, old enemies, new alliances, the return of Stitch. Victor Stitch Kuzmin has escaped captivity once more, but this time he's been extricated from a maximum security detention by his nemesis Russell Adler, the same operative who imprisoned him in an Icelandic CIA black site prison in the first place. So as I mentioned, that Camp Z location. These two share a deep history of rivalry, one they'll have to leave behind if they hope to accomplish the mission ahead. Now here's what it says. Prepare to deploy as Stitch when he rejoins the fight as part of the Season 4 Battle Pass coming in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Warzone. If you're new to his story, read on for the main events leading up to this dramatic twist in the search for Pantheon moles before returning tomorrow, May 21st, for the full blog post. So they have confirmed the blog post is going to go live tomorrow, a day earlier than they usually. And on top of that, a gameplay trailer. They then provided this image, which is basically from Cold War Season 1. It says, scanning intelligence reports, it appears to have started on Rebirth Island, where Stitch was placed in charge of production of the chemical gas Nova 6 in 1960s. Growing up with the Soviet Union, Stitch was recruited by the KGB after graduating top of his class, studying organic substances and pharmaceutical chemistry. Once he proved his skills working within the Laboratory 12 R&D facility, Stitch found himself reporting directly to the villainous Colonel, I don't even know how to say his name, Kravchenko, for his new assignment on Rebirth Island. Originally developed by German scientist Frederick Steiner for use against his country's enemies in World War II, Nova 6 was seized by those within Stitch's sphere of influence after thwarting a planned attack. Picking up where Steiner left off, Stitch pushed the island's facilities to produce countless barrels of the gas, creating a large stockpile of chemical weapons. So it's like the background story for him. And it says the eyes have it, raid on Rebirth Island. Stitch worked for 3 years producing Nova 6 until his plans were foiled when the CIA uncovered the truth about Rebirth Island's facilities in 1968. Led by Weaver Hudson, the CIA conducted a successful but costly raid on this mission. Steiner got assassinated in the conflict, but Adler was able to capture and interrogate Stitch. His efforts proved unsuccessful, however, when Stitch refused to give up more than his name and rank. Eager to send a message, an angered Adler gouged Stitch's left eye, cementing their intense rivalry. And then it said a trip to the Gulag. So returning to his homeland, Stitch was found guilty and he failed to stop the American raid on Rebirth Island. They stripped him of his rank and then sent him to the Gulag. During his captivity, Stitch stewed his hate for the West, even his own country, which abandoned him, and his intense desire for vengeance was used to turn him into an agent of Perseus. Then the chance to exact his desires finally came when a deadly attack on the Gulag left Stitch MIA. So setting the trap, then they provided another photo. They said his expertise in the production of Nova 6 and the power it offered was not lost, as it was later discovered Perseus agents were responsible for breaking Stitch free from his imprisonment. Members of the international spy ring composed of rogue military operators under the leadership of a mysterious figure. It wasn't long before the original Perseus died and his protege Stitch took command of the group, before finally turning his attention to an old foe. Dropping clues to Adler regarding his return to the fight, Stitch lured the agent to a mall in New Jersey where Nova 6 was secretly being manufactured and stockpiled. He then ambushed the agents and captured Adler in a daring scheme to incriminate his old foe. Stitch tried brainwashing Adler using MK Ultra techniques while setting his sights on Verdansk. And then basically after all this happened, he ended up, Adler was able to escape the dismantled Stitch operation in Verdansk by detonating explosives beneath the city. And then that's pretty much how the storyline went. Later on, we talked about how in Verdansk we thought he was pretty much killed, but he actually wasn't. So then they provide here another photo, but this is what we have so far. I'm going to make another video where we go over the Battle Pass operators. So if you are not subscribed, definitely hit that sub button so you don't miss out on that, but it's going to go up very, very shortly right after this. But thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Chidon. I'll see you guys again. Peace.